Arsalan, just kick us off with a brief kind of a history of the modern period, because I've met some Uyghur brothers and sisters, and they surprised me, and they told me an interesting statistic that interesting fact that East Turkestan was actually the first Islamic republic in the world, even before Pakistan. So, what's the modern history behind this region, and so we can get a bit of a context.
Yeah, so if we want to go back to, again, yes, we say that before the Ottomans, before the Seljuks, before our brothers in Pakistan, the Uyghurs were the first Turkic Islamic nation during the Karahan period, which was led by Sultan Sa'd Burahan in 934, so early 10th century.
Okay.
And we are very proud of this, but right now, every day we see that Islam is disappearing. So once Islam does enter into the region or enter East Turkestan, hundreds of years of dawah, jihad, various Turkic states are formed. But we get to a very interesting point in time when we hit about 1759, which is when the Sayyid kingdom, an Uyghur kingdom in East Turkestan, also known as the Yarkand kingdom, is invaded by the Manchu Empire in 1759, and we are annexed and we become part of the Manchu Empire. Obviously, there is a lot of revolting by the Uyghurs and other Turkic Muslims for the next 100 or so years. And in 1862, we do have a brief period of freedom, and during that brief time of freedom, we actually give bay'ah to the Ottoman Empire for a brief period, but that doesn't last very long. And in 1884, they annexed us once more, and we are officially given the name Xinjiang, which is what we know now today, the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. But Xinjiang, the Uyghur Autonomous Region, comes in later. So Xinjiang is given, literally meaning new territory, in 1884. Not long after that, the Manchu Empire is overthrown by the Chinese nationalists in 1911. About 20 years later, in 1933, the Uyghurs are able to establish the East Turkestan Islamic Republic in the city of Kashgar, which borders with Afghanistan, but that is short-lived. And then for the next 10 years or so, we are trying to gain our independence once more from the Chinese nationalists. And in 1944, with the help of the Soviet Union, we have a second East Turkestan Republic established towards the north of East Turkestan in the city of Gulja, which borders with Russia. It's towards the north. And that goes for about 5 years. And historically and popularly, in 1949, the Chinese Communist Party comes into play, and they take over the region, promising us to unite against the nationalists. And because during that time, the common enemy between the Chinese communists and the Uyghurs were the nationalists. So there was big propaganda going on. And finally, in 1955, so that the Uyghurs do not revolt against any sort of Chinese empire, any party, any government once more, they give us the name Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, by name autonomous, but in no way are we autonomous. We don't vote for our own leaders, and things like this.